Huge build-up, great camaraderie, good optics, and not much else. If this is what you thought came out of the second Trump-Kim summit, then think again. Many heads of state use media to pronounce their agenda, but here it's a different ballgame. We're talking about the North Korean media, the actual North Korean media.
Dear respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un and President Trump decided to continue productive talks to resolve problems discussed at the Hanoi summit in order to bring about the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and groundbreaking progress in the North Korea-US relationship.
Groundbreaking progress for denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Big statement there. But then Trump said this.
They wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety, and we couldn't do that. They were willing to denuke a large portion of the areas that we wanted, but we couldn't give up all of the sanctions for that. So we continue to work, and we'll see, but we had to walk away from that particular suggestion. We had to walk away from that.
Well, the U.S. demand is simple. If North Korea wants to avoid sanctions, it must completely denuclearize. And North Korea's demand is the exact opposite. Lift sanctions and we'll give up our nuclear program. Trump says he will not give up sanctions because North Korea is not ready for complete denuclearization. So Kim Jong-un says that his country, North Korea, is asking for partial sanctions relief, meaning lift some, if not all of the sanctions, and there'll be some denuclearization, whatever that means. Why is the US reluctant, you may ask? Because of a Pentagon report. This report came after the first Kim-Trump summit in Singapore last year. The report said that North Korea was secretly continuing its nuclear program and remains a threat. Going by the statement of the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, that threat is still alive.
They basically asked for full sanctions relief. That's true. They basically did ask for that. That was in exchange for some relatively undefined but a scope that President Trump didn't think was adequate to justify that level of economic sanctions relief from the world.
So after all the hype, there is no clarity on what North Korea wants to do with its nuclear program. Despite the damn squib that this summit was, several countries and global bodies have actually welcomed it.
이제 우리의 역할이 더욱 중요해졌습니다. 우리 정부는 미국 북한과 긴밀히 소통하고 협력하여 양국 간 대화의 완전한 타결을 반드시 성사시켜 낼 것입니다.
After the meeting ended, North Korea and the US both made some commitments. Among these, both North Korea and US showed a strong willingness to maintain contact and continue dialogue. China welcomes this.
Courageous diplomacy, I think, has established the foundation to advance sustainable peace and the complete and verifiable denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And we all very much hope that these discussions will continue in that.
Maintaining contact, continuing dialogue, courageous diplomacy, all vague statements, especially after the dialogue ended abruptly. If at all the summit came in for some criticism, it was for the President of the United States on his home turf.
It's strange. And I don't know, there's something wrong with Putin, Kim Jong-un, in my view, thugs that the president chooses to believe.
She said it. All said and done, Donald Trump has successfully completed his mission. He's garnered the attention of the whole world, attempted diplomacy, and he's come back home with this crucial pointer. Don't miss this one.
He likes me, I like him. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't like him. I said, why shouldn't I like him? I like him, get along great. We'll see what happens.
Our reading of the situation is simple. If the Trump-Kim summit was to get the Korean Peninsula closer to peace and complete denuclearization, it was a failure. If the summit was held to make the two heads of state get to know each other better, then it seems like a grand success. Either way, a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of newsprint has been expended on a spectacle. It was a no-deal summit.